Today we have Hannah to share her experience. So when did you start to prepare for HESI?
Seriously, or like did I seriously started studying, or when I had like all the resources?
All the experience. We love to hear all of them.
Well, I got the HESI book last summer. I had it with me throughout my whole internship. That junior year, after junior year, sad to say that I didn't crack it open as much as I thought I would or planned. So honestly, I just started the beginning of this semester. I had gotten your best grade, I think probably the last week of Christmas break. But I didn't have like a solid plan, which I wish I had done. So that's when I started studying, but then classes hit hard, internship hit, hours had to go in, tests.
Right,
so literally it took a seat on, like it took a back seat, definitely.
Definitely.
So fast forward to after I finished my hours for internship, I probably had 3 weeks.
So when did you finish your internship? In maybe 6 weeks? In 4 weeks?
I doubled up on probably like 3 weeks. So
You finished the internship.
Well, yeah, it took me a little while though. I was one of like the last ones to finish. Yeah,
It's
out of
good.
my class.
It's good that you got the HESI book during the summer. I didn't even know where to look up for the material for the next semester until almost the beginning of the semester. But did you look it up on syllabus?
What I went to was Professor Harrison sent out an email with like the link to the HESI book.
Oh,
but that was like really early, like right after junior year ended.
Right.
And I hopped onto that and I got it.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that's a good.
But I had to like dig back too in my emails when I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
I need to go back and see.
yeah. I remember I did the same thing, and it is the right thing to do. If your professor can send you anything early, just get it and start early.
Yes, make a plan. Don't just buy it and let it collect dust. Your best grade, I would say I used your best grade the most. And I seriously started studying 3 weeks before the first time. And with like, I had accountability partners. We did like 60 questions a day and stuff like that. I took a couple practice tests to like see my baseline and my weak points and tried to base it off there. I think I was like really anxious in like those 3 weeks, so it was kind of hard to focus and to really like sit down and study for like hours on end.
It's
or
hard.
even like breaks.
Because
Yeah, those are the two things
you have class, you have exams,
Yeah,
you have
because like the
homeworks,
world doesn't start. The world doesn't stop.
presentation,
Presentations, yeah.
projects. It keeps coming and keeps functioning like almost the barriers between you.
Yeah, lots of hurdles.
Preparing for HESI is heavy. That's why we need to start early. And you didn't have a plan? Did you have a plan to study?
I didn't really have a plan. The most plan
It's
I
hard
did
to
was
have a
just
plan.
like, I do this many questions every day. And then sometimes I would like focus on a certain subject, but normally I just did like all subjects. And I watched some videos, and also I got introduced to some online lectures that I got to listen to because I'm more of an auditory learner. So I like moving around and stuff. I don't like just sitting and staring at a screen, which was most of my studying, unfortunately. But when I was like walking around or like doing stuff around my room, I would try and listen to, especially like maternity lectures or community lectures, or just like different things in med surg or fundamentals that I was like, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, it's all fresh.
So
when
I
was
tried
with you.
to incorporate that throughout my day, you know.
Yeah, me too. I download some YouTube videos and listen to them while I'm driving. Especially if you have internship over St. Joseph Medical
Yeah, I
Center.
have a long drive.
You can use that time and listen to those lectures.
I got most of my stuff from like Glenn and Tristan. So if you interview them, they probably have the same links.
I think Tristan mentioned Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What did you do a week before HESI?
I panicked a lot. I did have a breakdown before. I think I was just like really stressed and overwhelmed.
Because of the class?
Yeah, because of HESI. The week before, I did, I tried to do 60 plus questions a day, and I broke it up throughout the day. Tried to get it in the morning and then late at night. But it was like panic time, definitely. Sometimes I didn't even like want to get up and study.
Oh,
so
you're depressed.
Yeah, literally the week before
I
I was really scared and doubtful of my knowledge, my own abilities, and it was rough. Not gonna lie. I think it's just because like I know I didn't study enough or as much as I wanted to feel prepared.
No, it was too much going on. You
Yeah.
also work, right? I
Yeah.
ran into you like 2 times.
Oh yeah,
couple times
yeah, you came into
in
the
the
gym.
and you were so like, hey, how do you study? I feel like you were already.
Sometimes I was like the most productive at work because I had my iPad out and I was doing questions there. But like the once I got back to my room or like other places, I didn't have like that motivation or that will or like that fire. It was something weird that happened because like normally I'm motivated with like, hey, it's coming up, you better get on it. But this time I was just like, there's nothing like.
I'm sure you're fatigued.
Yeah, I think I was definitely burned out by like,
Yes.
that week before.
Yes.
And it like scared me even more that I wasn't trying to,
Yes.
Even
study for other classes are already overwhelming and very tiring. And besides that, you have to set up your own time to study for HESI. Did you have any strategy to put yourself together and just get the energy?
Deep breaths, and I made sure to like talk to my friends and to say like, hey, can you keep me accountable, or hey, can we just meet up and we don't even have to study together, just do questions in the same space, just so you have that. Try not to, at least for me, I knew that like I shouldn't be alone, especially when I'm like down like that. So especially with like a big test like HESI coming up, I was like, okay, I need to be next to someone, just sit with them, whether it be a classmate or like my sister, or getting off campus, or just being somewhere and doing questions.
You have a study group, not only for HESI, even for your exams, your class exams, because sometimes your professor will give you a very long study guide, and you have to go through the whole maybe 50 pages of textbook to find the answers. So if you have somebody that's studying with you, you have a group that can, each can contribute to complete that study guide. It will save you a lot of times, and you guys can keep each other accountable, keep encouraging each other, and to be the resource for each other is another big thing that I have learned throughout nursing school. Every time when I had a very heavy task, I always wanted to see if there is any group is willing to adopt me, because I don't have a set study group. And I found that it's really helpful.
It definitely is.
And what did you do a day before HESI?
I think the day before HESI was one of my worst days. I completely, in the morning, it was a Sunday, right? A Sunday, because we took it on Monday.
Yes.
So I woke up and I did about 100 questions in the morning. My work started at 12:30. I had work from 12:30 to 3. Because when I go to work, I have to sit down, and if I'm not doing stuff, I'm doing questions. Okay. So basically, also I did another 50 in between and then during work. But after that, I was so burned out.
Yeah.
And I probably stopped studying maybe even just a couple hours after work. I got back and then I went to my sister's, and I just remember saying that the night before a big test, you should do de-stress. Yes. Just to de-stress. So I played Mario Kart at my sister's apartment.
Oh, I love Mario Kart. I have maybe 3 or 4 games. My favorite one is Mario Kart.
So that's how I de-stressed. I knew I wasn't ready, and I was like, you know what? I can't, I can do as many questions as I can, but I feel like if I go to sleep stressed, which I was probably going to anyway, might as well at least feel a little less stressed. Yeah,
a de-stress strategy is to do something completely has nothing to do with study.
Nothing to do with study.
Yeah. And do you remember how many questions did you practice on your vessel break?
Before that first one, I barely got over 1,000.
Okay.
So 1/3 of the way.
It was still good. It
Oh,
was
wow.
a lot. Did you remediate on all of them?
I tried to, at least the best as I could, but with like the time constraints. And really, like I said, three weeks. In that first week afterwards, I tried to plan out my studying for that last 2 weeks before. So I only like really studied 2 weeks. So I think that's why I was like really panicked.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I should like be further on, like along.
I think everybody feels the same way.
Yeah.
Even though, even the people that start early, like more than a month early, they still feel like they start late.
Yeah.
Once the class starts, you don't really have time for it.
Plan before the classes start and your other classes.
Yeah.
Or like block out time like every week that is like just designated, right? And don't let anything like cut into that time.
Yeah.
I wish I did that.
Yeah. Did you sleep well before exam?
No. I didn't.
Me
I
too.
tried to drink like warm tea like at night or take like a really nice shower.
Yeah.
But nothing really helped me fall asleep.
Yeah. Did you have time to eat your breakfast before you came to the classroom?
No, I didn't eat breakfast.
You had some cereal or?
Yeah, I did bring food to the test though.
How many hours did the test take you?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any tip you want to share during that time?
During that time, yeah, I felt like I was rushing through questions.
Oh no.
So
You can't
don't
rush.
do that.
Yes. You can't rush.
I like made like mental checks every like 25 questions. So I blocked off the test because it's 160 questions, right? So I did 25 mental break, another 25 mental break, and that was 50.
That's a good strategy.
And then I did that again, 25, 25, and that was 100, and then 25 and 25, and that's 150. So the last 10 questions doesn't seem that bad. Or like as burned out because they're like, oh, I only need 10. So that's how I break up the test, 25, 25, 25, 25 until, and then I think of it as 50, 50, 50, and 10
Good.
to do like mental breaks.
Good.
Yeah.
When did you pass?
I passed on the second try.
I have also wanted to interview somebody that didn't pass the first try
Yeah, that
because
first time.
you guys is going to be a big model or example for whoever is going to take the exam or whoever hasn't passed.
It's okay
good
not to.
encourage.
It's not the end of the world. It definitely felt like the end of the world when I didn't pass the first time.
Oh, definitely.
When I pressed 160, I pressed continue and end test. My score came up and I got an 896.
That should be a passing score, right? Oh
No, it's 900.
Oh no! Oh no! That's terrible because it was so close.
Yeah, it hurt so bad.
I know.
When I saw the score, I was like, I saw the 8 first and I was like, oh crud. And then I saw the 96 and I was like, you gotta be kidding
my
me.
goodness.
It's basically like one question.
Yes.
That could have pushed me over the
Could
top.
be.
And I was really hard on myself. That day, like the hour afterwards, I just like went to my room. I definitely cried it out. I was so angry and mad, and I like flew through the stages of grief and doubting myself so much.
I can't totally understand that.
It was really hard, but I took that afternoon off. I played more Mario Kart. I went to my sister's apartment. I made like my favorite food. I spent the day with Tristan over there too. We had like dinner and we just kind of relaxed.
Good.
And tried to
Friends.
like make like the most of it. Like I was in my room alone, and I was like, I don't want to do anything. I hate myself. Blah blah blah. Like really dumb.
No, you have
but
to
then, yeah,
seek
but then I
help.
always thought like I called one of my friends and she was like, you know, Hannah, you can't be by yourself. Like you know, go out.
Yes.
Be with someone.
Yes.
And you know, it's okay to fail.
It's okay.
Nobody
can always be successful.
Yeah, you can't always like. You can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not just like about like how many times you fail. It's like what you do afterwards. It's like how are you gonna pick yourself up? So that's kind of like the mindset that I had to get myself into.
Yeah.
It did take a little bit. It took like probably like 24 hours to like really get myself back into it and say like, I failed. It's okay. Okay,
Yeah,
how can I
it's
improve?
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was pretty hard to like pick myself up from that.
It definitely will be hard.
It's hard.
But allow yourself to be crying or be angry or whatever method you want to use to vent. But eventually you have to get yourself together.
I was like, I was very mad, very upset. But I look back at like some of the questions, like because like right after the test you can kind of like go back to the questions or like the topic, but it's like it's still fresh in your mind. So I realized that a lot of the questions that I got wrong were the ones I switched my answer.
See, trust your gut. Never
trust your gut.
Answer.
And I was a medium too, and my worst ones were maternity and I want to say med-surg and maternity were my like two weakest points. So the bars were like yellow and red. So I was like, okay. And then I went back and I was like, okay, I should review this. But sometimes it's like so broad on the concepts on there. So I went back to like my best grade and specifically chose those questions. I did so many maternity questions. Well, not so many. I probably did like maybe 100 maternity questions and maybe 100 more of med-surg. And then I went back to like all the old tests, all my old questions that I did to kind of remediate those and see if there were like any tricks and stuff like that. And that's when I learned
Mark Klimek.
Yeah, and I listened to his maternity lectures in between my first and second test. So even like I didn't do a lot of questions in between my first and second test. I did, but every time I did like a set of questions. In between that, I never changed any of my answers. I like stuck with my gut. The only time I ever changed my answer was when I was absolutely sure there's something wrong in the question. And I was like, oh wait, it's a negative question or it's a positive question. So I was like, oh, okay, I need to find the wrong one. I'm going to find the right one. Those are the only times I changed my answer. I didn't even take another practice test in between those two because I was also anxious and I didn't want to be like, oh, my score is too low.
Of course.
So, but my scores on like 50 question tests or the 50 question, at a time, they started to go up.
Did you only practice on OB questions between the two exams, or did you practice?
I practiced OB and med-surg.
Okay.
So
you only focus
I only focused on those two. Because then I was like, I don't want to add to more stress by studying fundamentals again.
You already got
psych, because I was like, okay, I already have a good knowledge base there. I trusted myself.
Also,
I didn't overload myself either.
The two exams were not too far away. It was like a week
and a half.
Yeah.
We took Monday and then we took it Thursday.
Yeah. You shouldn't be forgetting everything. So you don't have to go back and study everything all over again.
You can maybe refresh like lab values, refresh the stages of labor, refresh, the
weakest part.
Yeah, your weakest parts.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But when on the Thursday when we took it again, the two things I did differently were, like, I told you how I break up the test, right? I didn't do that as much on the first test, but I made sure I stuck to that on my next try. I made sure every 25 questions I was a lot more positive. I wasn't as confident. I was definitely a lot more positive to myself throughout that the second test. I was affirming myself. And I don't know, I just kept on giving all my anxiety to God. I was like, okay, next one. After every 25 questions, I was like, thank you, Lord, for getting me this far in the test. Let's get another 25.
Yeah, you could feel that you're doing better than the first try.
Yeah, I was like, but the content, for me, what kind of made me nervous was that second test seemed harder. For me.
I think somebody else said the same thing.
Yeah, then I got kind of scared too.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Yeah, it's really scary too, because you're question 75 and you're like, man, this is harder than the first one, looking back on it. But then, I took a bathroom break, I walked outside for a little bit, talked to Professor Kona, who was walking us back and forth, and she was encouraging too, because she's my advisor, and she knew how close I was the first time. So she's like, just keep your head down and finish strong. And I had 50 questions left after my bathroom break. Yeah. I went to drink water, and then those last 10 questions, I think I was shaking.
Me too.
I was legit shaking.
My last two questions, I was really bad. I was like, almost there.
In those last 10 questions, Because like knowing like my previous score from the test, I was like, dude, this can like make or break it.
Yes.
Like it can be like that one
I
question.
feel the same way.
But in the last 10 questions, I had like 2 mid-calc questions, which I was thankful for.
Yes.
Because
That's
I really like
easier.
those.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, we got this.
That's considered
Um,
easier.
And I like the last 5 questions, I like took a deep breath. After every question, I like took a breath break in those last 5. And then once, you know, I sent up another prayer as I did 160. And I passed.
Yay! So how long did it take the second try? Also 3 hours?
I think I was probably a little under 3 hours.
Oh, even
Like 3 hours.
quicker than first time?
I went like almost exactly or a little shorter
Okay.
the second time around.
Okay. But did you feel that you were rushing it?
No,
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
good.
feel like I was rushing it this time.
Okay.
It was hard, and I was like, Lord, why didn't you just give me that one question? Those 2 questions that could have pushed me over.
Right.
But I'm glad that I grew. I think he was like, maybe you need a little. You know, I probably would have gotten cocky if I passed the first one and be like, yeah, well, you know, easy. He wanted to humble me, so I definitely learned from that experience, and I was like, I was proud though after that second time,
Oh, for-
and I give it all to him after like the initial
Yeah, what did you do? What did you do after
no,
Africans?
after I saw the one in front of my score, and I was like, okay, that's, you know,
You
I
passed.
passed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and I closed my laptop.
Did you cry?
I gave no, like my hand was like shaking, like
Yeah.
almost uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And I was like getting my stuff away,
Yeah.
and I gave a thumbs up to Professor Melinda. Like she could see my smile, and then I was like
Yes.
packing up, and I like sat in my car for a while, like just praying and just like thank
Same
you,
thing.
thank you,
Same thing.
thank you, Lord, so much.
Yeah, I did
And
the same thing.
I called a couple of my friends. I texted.
Who did you tell first?
Who did I tell first? Yeah, I called my girlfriend from California because she knew that she's the one who told me not to be alone right after my first test.
That's very
So
important.
I called her again and I was like, oh, I passed this time, and she was like, I knew it.
I want to cry now.
And she was just so happy, and then she's like, okay, go tell everyone else. And then
Yeah.
I texted my sister, my cousin, I texted my parents, and my mom was
Yeah.
like, okay, don't rest on your laurels, you have NCLEX there.
Mom is
like,
always
"Take part of
pointing
me
out.
right
Mom is always pointing out the most important point.
Which I was
Mom is
like,
always
yeah.
super calm and super cool and always keep your mind, cool.
Yeah, so she brought me down again, or like, humbled me a little bit. But yeah, it was a good day. I definitely treated myself to celebrate, and even though I had like maybe a couple more assignments to work on,
Everybody
I was
hated
just-
it. Plus, you had to rush to finish out
The
other
community,
assignments.
yeah.
Because other assignments, they didn't change the schedule for you.
No.
They didn't change the schedule, push it back to give you the extra time to prepare for second try. No, they didn't.
No,
It was hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, I did those extra. I studied with some of my friends after sunset on Saturday, and they were like, "Okay, we'll set this time away just to do assignments, and then we'll go back to HESI." But like even just being in the space with them,
Yeah.
like being like knowing it's okay to not focus on HESI right now,
Right.
but be like, "Okay, you get done what you need to get
Get
done,
it ready.
and then we'll go back to HESI."
Yeah. Get it done first.
Yeah.
But we are thankful for Professor Melinda,
Yeah.
who was willing to postpone the remediation due date.
Oh.
Do you have any suggestion for class 2022?
22. Believe in yourself. Know that like the years that you spent like getting up to this point, your content base is pretty solid already. Take part in that, and then find out what your weaknesses are. Strengthen that.
Yeah.
Like you're weak in. Listen to more lectures. Do more questions.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Give yourself a break. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Right.
And know that it's okay not to do well.
Yeah.
But it matters like what you do afterwards. Like
Yeah.
I'm mad that I didn't pass the first time, but I'm glad that I learned from it. I hope you guys pass on your first time as well. But no, it's not the end of the world. Know that people have gone before you, have not passed the first time, and have succeeded. I know people who've gone before me and not have passed that first time, and are great RNs right now on the floor doing really well. This is just another big hurdle that you guys have to overcome. And know that you're not alone. Lean on your friends, lean on, especially God during the times.
Yeah.
Yes, spend time to treat yourself.
Yeah.
But don't let that become a procrastination technique.
I feel like it's easy for whoever passed the first try to say, oh, don't be discouraged, you will pass. But it is true. I want to share my own story. How did I get into nursing school? It was hard for me to get into nursing school. I tried to pass Nurse-Dani and get admitted into nursing school. And I tried and tried and tried. I couldn't pass that test. I tried 3 times. And the 4th time when I walked in, they said, oh, we can't let you take it anymore because we only have 3 different tests. You have already taken all of them, and we can't give you a repeat test. I was devastated because I have done a 1-year general education class or pre-request class. I spent 1 year, hopefully that I can be admitted into nursing school, and now you're telling me that this one test, if you don't pass, you're not going to be admitted. But just don't give up. There is always a way to achieve your goal. If you don't pass that first try, be patient. You will eventually. You will find a way to achieve your goal. Don't give up.
Be nice to yourself.
Never give up. And
don't give up. Yeah.
But also, don't beat up yourself too hard.
And be encouraging to those around you as well.
Yes,
I'm grateful for friends who passed the first time or didn't pass the first time. Still be encouraging.
Yes.
And they did walk on eggshells a little bit right after because they don't know who passed or who didn't.
Yeah.
But just being there for the person, and also for me being there for other people, other classmates, saying that we're in this together.
Yeah.
And to not give up, keep your head up.
Yes, I'm so thankful that you're willing to share your experience.
Yeah,
because
no problem.
it doesn't matter if you pass or not. You can still share your experience.
I failed the first time. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm sure a ton of people will be inspired by your experience.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay not to do okay. It's not the end of the world.
I guess I shouldn't ask you if you have started to study foreign class yet because
you
need a break now.
I have definitely taken a mental break already from.
You deserve it, definitely.
And from finals, I still need to get my NCLEX stuff sent in. I should have done that a while ago.
I know.
That's another stressor.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
No
it is powerful. It is powerful. It is also a testimony, your testimony of how wonderful God is and how important it is to take care of yourself and be confident. Trust yourself. Trust God.
Trust in God. You got this.
You got this. Yay!
Write your name and RN BSN after it.
Yeah.
During the test. And even if you don't pass the first test and you wrote it, just be like, okay, get the next one.
Right, okay. Get the next one.
What do I have to do differently? Always learning, bro.
What don't kill you will make you stronger? Whatever.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's right. You got it. I believe in you guys.
Thank you.
I can't wait to be on the floors with y'all. Come back to Cali. I'm kidding.
Don't take everybody away from me. Leave somebody to me because I'm staying in Michigan.
We'll come back and visit.
For sure, please.
I'll be back in a year.
Oh, really?
My sister's graduating next year. So I'll
cool.
be
Please contact me. Yeah. Please let us know. All right, I think we have done a wonderful video. And if you have any questions, any comments,
concerns, put in the box below.
Right.
Turn on notifications.
Thank you.